Guys, hi. Is everybody alive? Are we doing okay? I just want to check in. I'm here in my house where I have been for the past 2 days. I have not left the house. And here's the thing that I realized about not leaving where I live is that it's very fine for me. I literally am lucky where I am. I am often unemployed, slash working from home, let's use the politically correct term. And I, won't leave the home and then I'll be like, oh, Sierra, you hermit. How come you didn't go on a jog? But then now with coronavirus, I'm like, sorry, I didn't want to infect anyone. I was actually being a responsible citizen, not a lazy person. But anyway, I know it's serious and it's scary out there, so I don't mean to make light of the situation. But listen, that's all I got, comedy is how we cope. So basically, yeah, it's scary out there. I'm reading news. I'm reading all the news. Do I know what's going on? No, because clearly nobody has the straight facts. I don't know what's going on. I've read so many different numbers, seen a lot of graphs. Things don't seem great, and that's kind of my general assessment, which is why I want to keep Stay Positive rolling out. Guys, I know you're here because you're looking for an escape. That's what I've been listening to podcasts for and watching, TV for. I think entertainment is a fun way to just be like, hey, what if I didn't live in this dystopia, but instead I lived in that dystopia produced by HBO or whatever I'm watching. So yeah, so stay positive. Listen, we're in it. We're back. Okay, so here's the thing. This is the last episode that I recorded with a guest before coronavirus happened. In this episode, we do not talk about coronavirus at all. This was like a month ago when I recorded this, so clearly wasn't even a thing. Don't worry about it. We do not talk about it. The other thing too is that I think going forward, I want to keep releasing episodes, obviously, despite I don't know what's going to go on with the world. But I want you guys to have something to listen to as the world burns. So if I can do that, I might not have a guest on in the future, or we'll do Skype or video chat or whatever the kids are doing these days. In which case, bear with me, or maybe I'll do one where I just talk to you. And then that way, that's how I'll lose all of my subscribers. But yeah, so, stick around, stay positive. We'll always be here for you. Just trying to keep everyone happy. I don't know. What word was I looking for there? Anyway, so this guest, I want to get into it. She's really cool, really funny. A close friend of mine that I met through comedy, but also just, a fun person to hang with. But that's the fun thing about the podcast, having like a close friend like her on, or somebody who I've known just personally, and then talking to them about things that like I probably haven't talked to them about before, which is really cool. And it's weird that maybe certain friends, it's like you talk to them about certain topics. We're obviously both comedians, so we would love to talk about like career stuff or like this stuff or other fun things. But Stay Positive is when we get into more serious stuff. We talk about therapy, relationships, things that like maybe we've scratched the surface on in the past, but in this podcast we go deep. You know what I mean? So it's really cool. I hope you enjoy it. Check out her stuff online. She is at Harper-Rose D on all the platforms. Hilarious Twitter. Gotta check that out. But yeah, without further ado, this is Harper-Rose Drummond. Yay! Hello, Harper. Welcome to the podcast.
Hello, Sierra.
Hi. Thanks for coming over, on this fine Monday.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, of course. We haven't talked in a minute.
I know.
Well, I guess holidays,
yes.
New Year, then it was like, okay, we'll get together, yada, yada. But then I was moving, and then,
yes.
Life.
And then we were supposed to meet up. Veronica and I were supposed to come over here.
Yeah.
And then for some reason we really botched that.
It's okay.
I'm over here now.
Now you're here. I have to make it again. I was like, I got to host a podcast so that my friends will come hang out with me.
Yeah, like you have to just like prey on my narcissism, and then we'll.
Perfect. Look, we got Harper-Rose Drummond on the podcast today at Harper-Rose D. That's correct, right?
Yes, that is correct.
I'm great.
Yes, you are a true star.
But yeah, so look, I know we were talking about the fact that this is a positivity based titled podcast, but what's going on with you? It doesn't have to be positive. It could be whatever. But yeah, how have you been?
You know what? Mm-hmm. This is a brand change for me, but I've actually been doing. I feel like the past from October through end of December, I was super bad. I was
okay. That was a low.
It was really low. Like I felt like I was in a rut with like my stand up. Like I was going through a breakup. Yes, honey, yet again. But
it's tough out there.
No, it is tough. But like now, like I feel really good about stand up, Am I dating the same person yet again? Yes, Sierra. Yes.
Sure. You know, I see the tweets. I see the tweets. I see the Instagrams. Love it though. You know.
Yeah.
You came full circle.
Yes. Full
circle.
Yeah. Some would say maybe it's a cycle, but we don't know. But
no, it's fine. But yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
If you feel good about it, then that's all that you need to know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so you said October through December, and then do you feel like it was like a holiday change thing, or like did anything in that world help?
I started going to therapy,
Oh,
which really like everyone was like, you should
deal.
like, you know, you need to get back into it, blah blah blah. And I was just really dragging my feet. But then I started seeing this therapist. She's actually one of the meanest people I've ever met, but she like bullies me, but like in the best way. But then I started seeing her, and I feel like I just got so much clarity, like for not only like career wise, but like also just for like personal.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay,
Yeah.
well, so I feel like and that's a pretty clear. You took action.
Yeah.
To make something happen, and then luckily it did, kind of thing. So where did you? Well, so actually, I've been talking. So that's the thing. I've never been to therapy, and I think I definitely should try. You know what I mean? I think I've heard about like, you know, the sort of therapist dating thing where you got to go around and like kind of find the right therapist, which I'm sure, you know, could be like is important, but I guess that's what I'm always like, ooh, that I got to go through that like kind of rough stage of like testing people out. Did you do that?
Yes, I did. And it definitely is hard, and it kind of was like off-putting too, because like especially like when you're hurting, you don't want to like keep having to like open up that wound to like strangers, and then you're not feeling like a connection, so then you're like, why am I could just be in bed crying at 12 p.m. Like, why do I have to be in your office?
Am I on the couch crying?
But yeah, I found my girl on the second try actually. But I know sometimes sometimes people just like start immediately and they love their therapist, or sometimes it takes longer. But I got lucky, and it was like my second therapist.
Sweet. And then you said she's mean, but that's
she is
good.
She's so hot and so mean. Yes, I know. I haven't seen her in like the past like couple weeks because she just had a baby, and so she has to go live her life. But I know. Okay, we get it. But no,
the favorite client is
right.
The baby.
Yeah,
classic.
Just getting all the attention. But no, this therapist, like, she's incredible, but like truly a savage. Like I was telling my brother some things that he was saying. He's like, "Are you sure she's a real therapist?" I was like, at least as far as I can tell, yes.
That's hilarious. Yeah, because I think I normally think of therapists like or professional, you know, caregivers being kind of hands off, or in the sense of like I don't like versus say like a life coach or something where that person's like on you or something, or a what's that called, like a personal trainer or something. So what is the difference? I don't know. Well, also, I've never had a young therapist before. They've always been older. Yeah,
and she's young, like she's close to my age, and I'm just like, okay, interesting. Yeah.
More relatable.
Yeah. She's like, she looks like like wow, I cannot speak. Zoe Deschanel. That's what she looks like.
Very new girl.
Yeah, but then like with a little edge. I'm just like
edgy Zooey.
Yeah,
Zoe.
yeah. Well, however you say it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. Okay, so then that kind of like, I guess at least gives you a pretty clear marker of like when you started going and seeing somebody and talking to them. So
yeah, I was like letting my sadness fester, and I just like, and it was getting to the point where like people were like, okay, like we get like you're making jokes about it, but like my coworkers pulled me aside one day because my depression was getting so bad.
God.
It was getting so bad that my coworkers actually pulled me aside, and they're like, Harper, I know you're hurting right now, but have you been showering? And I was like, okay, let's be honest, no. And they were like, yeah, so we bring it up because your hair looks matted. And I was like, got it. And so then it was at that point where I was like, oh my God, like I'm like actually a mess. So they were like, you're not allowed to listen to Frank Ocean this week. You're not allowed to.
Self-medicating.
Oh, yeah. I was like, I got a hold of it. I was like ordering like cookies every single day from like Postmates.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, that's still a good move.
Yeah. Like now that I'm happy, I'm still doing it, but at least you know.
Happy cookies.
Yeah, it's cuter now.
Yeah, but it's a cuter scene. Wait, that's very nice of them though, I guess, to look out for you and know what your standard hair looks like,
yeah.
so they can compare it to not so happy hair.
They were like, this is a different type of sadness, and it's not as fun as your other types. So I was like, got it. So, but then I feel like I really like got it together.
Cool. Love it. That's really exciting news. And I think I like, you know, it's sort of that thing too where I think with stand-up and stuff, when we're able to like be vulnerable on stage, we can fall into a place where at least I feel like I'm like, well, if I can kind of like make this into something like a joke or something, then like it's worth me suffering.
That's honestly
So,
how I was feeling too. That's exactly how I was feeling. Like, and like the more sad and the more like dark I was like going internally, I feel like, I mean, like it's like silly to bring it up, but like on Twitter, like I was just like coming up with like so much material, and then it was like bleeding into my stand up too. And so like I'm getting like all this new material, but like I'm like crying after my shows. I'm like, I was just so like, I was like, I felt like, I will never see the lightness again. Like I was like so bad, and like I was in like a rut too. I don't know, it was just so like gnarly. But then like I don't know, once my therapist was like, hey, maybe instead of like focusing so much, she's like, that's great that, you have to make jokes about it. She's like, but you need to like also do self-care too.
Cool. Yeah. And then what sort of things did you find were working for you self-care wise?
Oh, well, I started setting a timer on my phone for like social media. So I was like, I definitely have like a phone addiction. Like it's like, too. It's so nasty.
It's so hard.
Yeah. But like I set a timer on my phone for an hour for social media.
Oh, cool.
Now, sometimes do I break it? Okay, no one's perfect.
For like the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I really like limited my yeah, right. I like really limited my screen time though, and that helped so much. Cool. And I know it's like kind of silly, but like.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, because that's the thing. It's like if you're already feeling down, it like speeds it along at least, Yeah. It's like, oh, like I'm not having a great day, but everyone else is.
Yes.
Like, here's all the evidence to show you, and like. That's just the way that it works. And it's like, that's not going to, like that, the way social media looks isn't going to change. But like, yeah, if we can just stay within our normal world and not go into like fantasy world, then it's like going to help, I think.
Definitely.
I can't remember what I was. Oh, yeah, I think I was like listening to some audiobook, I don't know, or a podcast. I don't know. One of those things. And they're talking about how like, yeah, well, like if your grandpa or something was having like a bad day, he'd probably go to work and like, it would probably not be exacerbated in the same way that like we can like just see everybody else having a great day. Yeah. And then be like, oh wow, now what's wrong with me,
Exactly. So and I feel like I was comparing myself so much too. I like that phrase like keep your eyes on your own paper. Mm-hmm. That I feel like that like I'm like trying really hard to like stand by that and like
cool. Yeah, I have to work on that as well. I think that's such a common problem for people our generation, but also just like we can if you are looking sideways, it can be helpful in the sense of like what we do too is like super weird and like there's not really like a map, or we're not going to work every day in the same way of like being like, okay, because I'm doing fine within this company or within these like parameters because my coworkers went through the same path. But it's like we literally have no idea, so that's the only way we can really tell what's going on.
Exactly. And it's like it, especially to like in entertainment, there's no set path too, and everyone can make it through all these different avenues and different ways. And I just feel like sometimes like I was really finding, especially like when I was like in the darkness, I was like really
in the tunnel
mm-hmm. No, in the sunken place. I was just really like, I'd be like, okay, I've been doing it for this many years and I haven't done like I haven't done this, I haven't done that, and I was like looking at all the things I haven't done. But then my therapist was like, well, look at where you were a year ago and like what did you accomplish this year. And so then I like once like you shifted that perspective, I'm like, oh, okay, interesting.
Yeah, no, that's really good advice. Like comparing yourself to yourself is like the best way. Yeah, I find it too. It's like with entertainment in particular and social media, it's like obviously people are going to just post like their accomplishments. So a lot of times it just looks like people have like gotten to a certain place and you're like, man, how did they, what circumstances where did I go wrong? This and that. There's a lot of things like that. But then I realized what helps me is like either listening, like reading longer interviews with somebody or who like is doing something you like. And then I'll see like, oh, wow, they just like, they worked a lot harder. Mm-hmm. So I think then I'm like, oh, okay, I can kind of see that this is like, clearly they are on a certain path that like, like they worked really hard for that thing that they accomplished. And I think we just see like the accomplishment, and then that's where I at least go wrong, because I'm like, oh man, that like just came out of the blue. But then if you like read what they actually worked on to get there, you're like, oh, okay, that's totally not out of the blue. Yeah. They like worked their ass off, and like, of course, it manifested somehow, but like, I don't know, that kind of thing happens to me a lot, where I think I, will finally realize like, oh yeah, people do work hard, and we're just seeing like everyone's individual accomplishments happening at once. Yeah. Like kind of aggregated because of Instagram or whatever. And like,
Exactly. And like, I feel like I was also spending so much time, like I was like throwing myself a daily pity party. It was exhausting, honey. And so, but I was always just be like, oh, why isn't this happening? I'm like, well, I'm sitting over here like wallowing, like people are out there like working really hard. And so I had to like pull myself out of that. I'm like, all right, we're done. Like, you're an adult, let's go. Like, and you don't have it that bad. So
daily pity party.
Yeah.
It's
I was
hard.
like, the parties are canceled until further notice.
Right, perfect. Please save your RSVPs for tomorrow.
Yes.
But yeah, I see. So that's very exciting. Like the social media thing, self-care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was looking at the person we're together now and everything's like great, like la la la. But when we were in the bad period, I would like look at his Instagram like every single day and just like get really sad.
Sure, that'll do it.
I was like a freak of nature. I was a freak, and then
I mean, it's right there in front of us.
It was so hard. I know, but it's like, but also in this day and age too, I feel like it's like there's so many different types of social media, and there's so like you have almost too much access to like a person's life.
Totally.
And like I know personally, I don't have the self-control to just like ignore it.
Right.
And so I would just like, I'm gonna look at this until I don't hurt anymore. And surprise, it never happened. But
well, it worked out a different way.
It did.
So good thing you're keeping up. You know.
Yeah.
Now you're like, you don't have to update me on your life. I know everything. But it's literally like, yeah, it's at your fingertips. I think the funny thing is there's just like people, I'm sure, because I haven't had this as much because it's like I've been dating my boyfriend for so long, but I would say I feel as if when if we're not like in the same place, so I'm not updating him all the time, a lot of times you're posting because you're like, oh, he will see it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like you're looking at their thing knowing that they will see that you saw it.
Oh,
because
yeah.
of Instagram stories.
Oh, of
so
course.
it's like, yeah, so it's like there's all these there's these like games that I realize sometimes when I'm watching other people's stories or watching other people's posts, I'm like, this doesn't feel like it's for me because I feel like it might be for their crush. You know what I mean? Like it might be for like other people, and it's just kind of funny because, you know, that's like,
you know who I love that actually that like does this, but like they're so honest. They're like, this is for you. Like Gabby Lamb is so funny because like she'll like post something. She's like, this is a shout out to my ex. Like, look what you did to me. And it's so funny.
That's great.
Yeah.
Because that's literally, I think, what like social media is.
Yeah, but I just love her raw
shout
honesty.
Out to Gabby Lamb. At Gabby Lamb.
Yeah, Gabby Lammy.
Check it out. Oh, Gabby Lamby on Instagram.
Yes.
But yeah, another hilarious way to do it, I guess, is just call it out, you know?
Yeah, just like the radical honesty.
Good.
2020 is all about being reckless.
Yeah.
That's what I think it is. Just like...
Yeah, you don't need no wrecks. Get rid of those wrecks.
Yes.
Yeah. What does that mean, reckless?
Okay, like reckless energy. It's like... Okay.
What is Harper's reckless?
Okay, reckless energy. So Paula Viganolin, she another hilarious comic. She
Jinx.
I know. Hey, she was like she was like explaining it to me like at the start of the year because I'm like we were all talking about like how we, you know, how we're trying to stay positive and how we're trying to like just like get, you know, stop being jealous about other people, whatever. And then she was like, we're just gonna like go hard at our careers and like with, you know, dating and whatever. She was like, because we're gonna be messy bitches and we're not gonna care anymore. And I was like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, I love that. I think it's like it is true
like
that
fearless
it's like
almost.
Yeah. Okay, so that's something I'm trying to apply as well, I think, because it's like so scary because you feel like people are like watching you, I guess, especially with like literally people are watching us do stand up, but I think also just like, you know, social media, all that stuff, and so it can be scary and feels like you can't, if you fail, everybody will see, but like in the reality is people are following a bunch of people and like nobody gives a shit, you know?
Yeah,
so
definitely.
I think it's like, okay, how can I like channel the idea that literally nobody cares about what you're doing?
Yeah, no,
because then if you act right, then that's how we can like get better, I guess, in theory, right? But it's hard. Like I am scared of. I mean, I think everybody should also follow Harper on Twitter. Is it the same?
It is the same.
Harper-Rose D on Twitter. Hilarious, fucking so many great tweets. But I would say Twitter. So I respect it a lot because Twitter terrifies me, I think. But, you know, maybe I can channel that recklessness and not care. But I don't know what it is. Twitter just scares the shit out of me.
Okay, I was just telling the person I'm dating, I was just like he was just like, wow, you haven't been on Twitter. I was like, oh my God, I know. Like I took a 3-day break and it was so good.
So good.
Yeah, I felt like, I was like, wow, I didn't even realize it was depressing me. Because you like get sucked in.
Of course, I think there's like a separate Twitter universe where the world kind of has different news almost. Like people are like, oh, this person was canceled, and like nobody knows.
And then you come out into the outside world and no one gives a fuck. Yeah.
They're like, they might be having a bad day, but like everyone's confused.
Yeah.
But also, I think I got very scared because I think there's just like, you know, the debates, like the minute you go into like a tweet and then like the replies to that tweet, even if it has nothing to do with myself, I'll just like read, oh, okay, somebody tweeted something a little controversial. I wonder what like people responded to, right?
And
then I'll see it and it's all these like back and forth of like, you spelled that wrong. Oh, you're such, you know, it's like, like it just makes me want to like crawl inside of
it's like, die. It's really insane.
So that's what I don't like.
I'll just like fire off just like random shit. And like, I honestly, like whenever I send something out, I'm like, oh, this is going to be funny to like, you know, like my 2 friends that I'm in like constant contact with. And I'm like, ha ha ha. And then I'm like, oh wait, more people than just my 2 friends are looking at this.
But that's a good way I think that's a good way to say it. Cause it's like, you know, those 2 friends, how to make them laugh. Like they know you. And then like, as long as you can like fire it off, I think the key is like probably firing it off and just like not looking. Yeah. Unless, you know, it's something crazy you have to.
I used to be like, it's like,
But I mean, who can't look, right? It's like posting something.
Well, I turned off my notifications now, so now I'm just like, I don't even give a fuck if it bombs. I'm so like, whatever. Like this, like literally does not matter. So.
Yeah. So it's like as long as you're not like, you know, saying slurs or something.
Yeah,
like
Jesus.
It's not gonna ruin you. I mean, hopefully not, right? But yeah, okay. So I like that.
My parents unfollowed me on Twitter because they said I was like.
They were on Twitter to begin with.
They were on Twitter and they were like, Harper, we found you. I was like, and then I started like being like a little bad girl on there, and they were like, well, that's truly heinous. We're not going to look at that. We're not going to fucking look at that. I was like, honestly, that's for the best.
On following Harper on Twitter.
Yeah, it's like, and unfollow.
No, that's sweet of them to unfollow.
Yeah, respecting the boundary.
Good. Yeah. Because so I'm pretty sure my mom is on those, like on Instagram and Twitter, but she doesn't post, but it's just like following like me and like maybe like a cousin or something. Yeah. Of mine. But then every so often she'll respond to my stories with like 100, you know, like one of the emojis. That's really funny. But then she won't realize it, and then I'll respond to her and be like, ha ha ha, and she'll be like, wait, what happened? Did I send you something? And I'm like, she'll text me and she goes, Sierra, you said, what did I send? And so she doesn't. I don't think she understands that. Like you can, if you tap the thing, it sends it to me.
That's so cute.
So I don't know what's going on there. So, but I think she sees some of this stuff. Anyway, regardless, I get a little worried then.
You're like, what are you looking at?
Yeah, I mean, you know, whatever. I'm not going too crazy, but maybe I will one day.
Yeah.
So I gotta warn her.
Yeah, exactly. No, I feel like your content's like really like funny and but like tame.
Sure.
Like nice and tame.
At the moment, yeah, it's pretty tame. Well, I think one of my little cousins follows me on Instagram, so I gotta kind of be careful.
I try and I will literally censor my posts like on Instagram. Like if I post something on my story, I will literally put like a parental advisory thing over.
Good. Yeah. Good, perfect. Yeah, keep it.
I try and like hide it from my cousins, and then my mom will always text like the second she sees something that she doesn't approve of, she's like, "What about all 3 of your?" And she'll like list them off. She's like, "What about Rusty Taylor?"
Say their name.
She's like, "Look at them, look at this." She's like, "They follow you," and I was like, "Yeah, Mom." My bad.
It's fine. Yeah,
I know.
There's much worse stuff on the internet.
But like my grandma follows me and she loves my raunchy stuff. She's like, keep it up. I'm like, okay, girl.
Great. Okay. Well, there you go. That's the ultimate approval.
I'm like getting egged on by like the wrong people. You know.
You're getting mixed messages from
different
generations.
I know. It's hard to like stay a course when I don't know which one to follow.
Right. You just gotta go with your gut. Go with your gut.
Yeah.
Post for 2 friends, and then that way, you know, you don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, so that's great. I mean, obviously, I think keep going. You know, like what if, like,
I've dug myself into such a deep hole with this like persona I've created of like a messy, like emotionally abused girl. It's like I'm like really not even like that bad, but like the persona I've created is like so fucked up.
Well, it's all about brand, right?
Yeah,
so
that's
it's like
true.
You know, it's like when you make your TV show. It's called autobiographical, semi-autobiographical, but it's like a amplified version of yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So you know, maybe that exact scene didn't happen, but everybody's, you know, it's a very great representation of like this taken to the extreme to be funny.
Right.
And then, you know, people obviously are responding to it, so it means that there must be a need.
Yeah, true.
Or a want.
Well, I mean, like for those like 3 months that I was like extremely depressed and like trying to deal with like this, like I think it's just because it was such an ego blow, because like I had never been like dumped before, so I was like, what the fuck is this?
Right.
So
Where
I was
are
like, what do
we?
you mean? It's like, okay, honey, be humble. Okay, but anyway. But so like I was like, I started like writing in like a voice I'd never written in before, and like so like. I know it's like weird to say, but like even like I mean I didn't like being hurt, but like it's almost like good that it happened, because I found a different voice to write in, and then like that's like when like my like tweets started like doing well and like whatever, and like I like found all these like new jokes and
like find it from the pain.
Yeah.
It's like,
oh,
it
honey.
is the lighter side of the darkness,
Yes.
but also not ideal.
Yeah, I was like, I will capitalize on my pain.
Sure.
Honey.
Yeah.
Hurt me for my art. Okay.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
But pretty cool. I mean, and then that can always pivot into like whatever new angle you're taking from the happier side.
Yes,
right?
I know. Yeah, I'm like, I need to go update like my stand up now.
Fair enough. Yeah. That's how it works. But yeah, so I guess what else like kinds of things have these most recent months brought then? Do you feel like it's like, you know, I don't know. I guess like have you tried any like routine changes or like?
I work out every single.
What?
Not okay. Wow, that was about to be a lie. But I work out. Like when I wake up in the mornings now, I like try and do it like first thing.
Work out in the right.
And
Nice.
it's either like I'll either like go do like a yoga class or whatever, because I'm annoying like that, or like I'll go on a run or something, and I feel like that just like really like clears my head.
Cool.
Especially because I am so prone to getting anxiety and stuff like that. I feel like it just really calms me down to just like do it in the morning.
Yeah, that's great. I feel like I've only ever been able to do that like once. One time where I used to live, I was near a yoga studio, and then,
because you're so close to me.
Yeah, it was Yogala, I think.
Yeah,
okay, so I think I've only been once. I don't remember, but I literally was like, oh, okay. So I think I signed up for something, and maybe went twice, and they, you know, like the thing that was the incentive is I was already locked in, and then if I didn't go, I have to pay like $20.
Oh shit!
So I was like, okay.
You're like, and I'm in.
So I like walked over the hill, went to this yoga thing, and then afterward I was like, man, my calves are so sore, and I think it was because I was. Like, I'm really not flexible. Like, I can't touch my toes. It's insane.
Oh, really?
No, I can't. I've never been able to, though. Even, like, peak when I was, like, you know, a spry little high school kid, like, playing basketball, in shape, I couldn't touch I could barely.
Oh, okay.
Just, like, not a thing that I can do. And so, of course, I'm, like, shaking through the whole yoga thing. But afterward, my calves were really sore. I was like, wow, yoga must have, like, killed my calves. But then I realized later it was just, like, the hill that I had to walk over.
Yeah.
That killed me. So I'm like, okay, if I went the long way that was, like, not so steep, I probably wouldn't be as sore. So I think I can go back to yoga now.
Yeah.
But initially, I was like, I can't do that.
You're like, and that's
I couldn't
killer.
walk for like 2 days. I mean, I could, but it was like embarrassing.
It was like, yeah,
it was
painful.
But that's great. So then do you go to like one of those yoga studios near?
Yeah, it's like Moto and Echo Park.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like I passed by that before. Cool. Was that good?
Yeah, I love it. I started going actually around this time, or I started going in January of like 2019.
Cool.
And just like fell in love with it, and I was like, all right, let's do this.
Yeah. Okay, so it was like a New Year's thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, well, January.
Well, I was getting out of a breakup then too. I mean, like we had broken up, like, you know, kind of. I think I was telling you about that. But like we had like broken up like unofficially. We like stopped like being like I guess you know involved with each other. But then like he moved out in like January, like and then in December.
Cool.
And that's when I was like, uh-oh, it's time to start working out.
Yeah,
okay.
how do we go to yoga? Right
yeah.
away? No, that's great. I recently watched that Bikram documentary.
Oh my God. So fucked.
It's messed up, but that's like that weird hot yoga thing. And then also, I mean, they've divorced from this man who was kind of this like cult leader, rapist man.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah. Oh my God, that documentary I watched it twice. I needed to do round 2 on it. I was like, let me like really.
What did you gather from the second time?
More bad.
More
turns
bad.
Out.
It only got worse.
And I liked it. You know what?
The deleted scenes.
I
even
got it.
Worse.
No, I thought that was so. Oh my God, just so eerie.
Yeah. Man, it's just that kind of like cult mentality, and it feels worse because you know these people really believed in him, and they had to overcome even more than just like, I mean, I don't know. It's obviously sexual assault, not easy to overcome no matter what, but
right. But especially when it's like in that type of environment where like you're like, oh, I'm trying to teach, I'm trying to do good, and like you're trying to, and especially because yoga's about like, you know, getting your mind right as well as your body, and then like when you're assaulted in that environment, I just feel like that's like, you know, it's just so damaging.
Yeah, that's tough. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like some of the things that they were saying, like the ones who had transformed their lives or like chronic pain and stuff like that, that was pretty interesting. Like I wonder, not that like just separate from the documentary itself, but just that practice. Because I guess that still exists around. It's just like not his schools anymore or whatever, that hot yoga thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must be pretty great.
Right. Yeah. Let's give it a try. Yeah. But yeah, it was like so crazy.
Yikes. I know. Now but that, of course, so that's my most recent like viewing of what yoga is. I'm
and you're like,
oh, great.
I'm fucking
I guess
good
I
on
can't
that.
Go back.
Yeah.
No, it's different, but yeah, it was bad.
The studio I go to is not that culty. Like there's like a sprinkling of cult, but like not really. It's just like, I feel like that's like with any like intent, even like with like Soul Cycle and that shit. Like I feel like any like the what's the word? Like any like type of like group, like there's gonna be like people are gonna get like pretty excited and pretty into it, and sometimes that can be like a turn off for me. I'm like, why are you this into it?
Right. Oh, totally.
I'm like, I'm doing it, but I'm not enthusiastic like that.
Yeah. I mean, because I guess it's like you have to buy in because it's already kind of painful. So you're like, well, if I'm gonna be here, I better love it, or else I'm gonna like quit, and then I have to go back to like not exercising or something. And so that's kind of like the way that they buy in, which is fair. I mean, I think, I haven't really ever been that, especially after high school. Well, because in high school I did a lot of sports, so I was like very a lot of sports question mark. I did basketball like for 8 years, and then I quit. And I did,
for 8 years.
Like since I was it was like 8 to 16 or something.
But still, I mean that's good.
And basketball. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was like a good lesson in like, oh, you're not good at this, but well, like
I
or like
will keep doing
it's like, but you kind of have to keep doing it, and like that was a good lesson, I think, because it's like or not even that I wasn't. It's like I worked really hard, so I was like maybe skilled at it, but I was 4'10", like it wasn't gonna work out. You know what I mean? I was like 2 foot when I started or something, and anyway, so I think it was like a good thing, but like what it kind of became associated with like just dread of like working out was like unenjoyable because it was like, oh, I hate basketball. At a certain point I was just like, I can't be yelled at by these like men coaches anymore. Like it was just so weird. I mean, and women coaches. It was just like, I think I kind of started to associate it with negative things. So I have to get that out of my system and be like, working out can be fun just for yourself.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a journey.
No, it totally is.
I think jogging though is fun. Like, do you sometimes also run around?
Oh, I love running. Yeah.
That's good.
I love it so much. I always do Elysian.
Cool.
That park over here.
Yeah, like the trails and stuff. Yeah. That's one thing I miss about not being close to there is like I could literally just run up and then be in the trails.
Yeah.
Kind of. But I'm sure
but
there's
this is
other stuff.
You live in a great area now.
Sure, it's pretty residential, so I haven't really scoped out like where I could run, but I think you just run on the street. Like, I see people walking their dogs and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, then maybe I will have a dog one day.
Yes.
But I don't think so. It's not going to happen in this house.
Oh wow. Wow, that was shut down.
I know, sorry.
You're like, maybe. I'm like, okay.
But it's not going to happen in this era.
But it will not, so next. Okay.
So sorry, Harper, but not going to hang out with my dog.
Okay, well, one time, so I live in a studio, and I got sea monkeys, because I was like, I really want a pet.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to kill a fish.
Those little seahorse things?
And I made them live for a long-ass time.
Cool. What are they like?
Just like little teeny, I don't even know exactly.
They're kind of like microscopic.
They're like micro shrimp. Like, I don't even know what the hell they are. But like, I would just see them like bebopping around the little tank, and I'm like, I am a fucking mother right now.
You feed them?
Oh, honey, yeah.
And then do they need like light or air or anything, or what are
they just have
animals?
This weird little food, and like just like make sure they don't get like too hot or too cold, just like room temperature. I remember I brought a guy home one time, and he was so turned off that I had sea monkeys. So he was like making fun of me. He's like, "That's not a real pet." I was like, "Bitch, there's 4,000 real pets in my apartment."
4,000. Oh my god,
like,
it's an
look
ecosystem.
I know.
That's so funny. Oh
whatever. He started dating me, so I was like, "Who's the real winner?"
Yeah,
me.
Yeah. He wasn't that turned off.
Exactly.
He was probably turned on secretly. That's great. That's a great thing to come home to.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of organisms. 4,000.
Well, that's a ballpark. Maybe it was.
I mean, still quite a lot. I remember. I think my mom talked about when she was like a little kid. They got like mail ordered sea monkeys, and they were so excited because they saw it in the magazine.
Oh my god.
And they were like so excited. It was like they're gonna get like 200 sea monkeys, and then I think it like came in. It was like drained.
Oh my god.
Or something horrible. Where it was like, oh, but also I think it was advertised as like, they're going to be these huge ass seahorses, and then they're like microscopic.
Because I know like a lot of kids do it because it's like a practice thing. It's like, make sure you feed them.
Right.
But I did it when I was a child, and like I thought they were going to grow big. I remember being sad. I was like, I wanted fish, but I guess not. So.
Yeah, they're little bits. But
Yeah.
your expectations were met this time.
Yeah, they were met.
I mean, what's another good? I guess plants.
Plants,
Good thing.
yeah.
Oh, I'll feature this later, but my friend got me this little dog moss thing.
love that.
It's a succulent and a dog in a moss shaped dog or dog shaped moss.
So cute.
For audio listeners out there. Yeah, it's fun. So I got to get a mister to mist it because the moss itself, like I can't water it. But I gotta buy that before it dies. But yeah, my sister has a lot of plants, so it's a big responsibility. I gotta go to her house and water them when she's gone out of town.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, but and so you're moving obviously, which is exciting.
Yes.
But your place flooded that one time.
Oh my
and, like,
God.
what the hell was that?
That was like the cherry on top of my nightmare. Like, I swear to God, like, honestly,
Think about that.
I keep going on podcasts and I can't shut the fuck up about this 3-month period.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was so
there's much to learn. There's much to learn.
So it's like, not only was I just like creating like a flood of my own tears, but like I woke up, I think I was like FaceTiming with
metaphor.
Oh, it was fucked. But so it's like, another night alone. We're loving it. I'm sad as fuck. And then I think I was FaceTiming with Pallavi or something, but all of a sudden, like, I hear this noise and I was like, oh, fuck. And I lean up out of bed and water is just shooting out of my kitchen and it's coming like into the bedroom area. And I'm like,
shit.
Excuse me, what? And so I like get up and I just like, it's like an inch of water all throughout my apartment. And I'm like, uh-oh, it's wild. And then like mud started shooting or like dirt from a pipe burst.
Great.
And so it just started like bursting. It was insane. And I'm like trying to like clean it up. I'm trying to get the water out. Like,
yeah. Jesus.
I had to like build a boat. It was like crazy in
Right,
there.
right.
It was, I couldn't,
keep your head above the water.
Yeah,
Titanic,
seriously.
Titanic.
I didn't
Get that
live in my
door.
apartment for like 10 days.
Ugh, what a frustrating thing. And then was there like a lot of damage?
Oh
of
yeah,
your
no, like
belongings? Yeah.
So when I used to bartend, I made like really good money, and so I like one night I was like a little bit wine drunk, and I'm like, I'm gonna buy myself a nice ass rug, and I bought myself this really nice like handmade rug, whatever, and then you already know that was completely ruined.
Really?
Oh yeah, because like the mud and the muck like
Yeah,
got
what are
all,
you
and the
gonna do
water
when
had
it
water
doesn't-
damage, like everything, and like one of my favorite books like was ruined, like my dad gave me. It was like crazy.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
I can't believe it. Yeah, well, at least you were awake.
Yeah. Oh my
know?
God. Yeah.
Just thinking about, because I think part of me was thinking, it was in the middle of the night, and then you're like waking up and you're like,
Oh, I sent like
like,
my
in
manager
water.
like a manic email. I was like, I'm about to drown. Oh, and she's like, okay, let's get this. And then they had plumbers like the next morning.
okay.
And then they were like, yeah, no, you can't live here. And I was like, all right, dope.
Sounds
But they
like
put
a
me in like an
swell
Airbnb
suit.
in downtown. And I
Okay,
was like,
good, yeah,
oh my
they should
God, I
have.
loved it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Downtown's pretty cool. Very hip.
Yeah.
Very
That actually, that's what,
industrial.
and like because of the flood, that actually is like what started getting me out of like my little spiral too.
Yeah, you took a flood.
Yeah,
of
I'm
your
like
entire
going to
apartment.
my therapist. I'm like, honey, a bitch is flooded. And she was like, I'm sorry, what? I'm like,
Yeah. Okay, good. So
yeah. But I got to like
turn
live in
that
like a
frown
new
upside down.
like change of scenery. It was like really refreshing.
Yeah, that change of scenery thing does help a lot. I
Yeah.
think. Just even if it's the same city, but just a different part of town.
That's also why I'm so excited to move too, because like I mean I redid my apartment after my ex moved out, but like that was like the place that we shared together.
Yeah,
you know what
yeah,
I mean.
yeah,
And
that's
so like still
tough.
sometimes like I feel like that energy's like in there. So I just like I'm excited to go to like a new place and just like start fresh.
Yeah. Oh
You know?
yeah.
I wanna make some
kind
new
of forgot
nightmares.
that. Yeah, good. Fresh nightmares.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot that's like kind of, it's pretty good that you're able to stay there for as long as you have and like make it your
Yeah,
own. But yeah,
definitely.
it'd be nice to like have a new thing. What's your sort of dream setup? Would you want to get like do you think you'd buy like a new rug? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, is there
Oh,
something you're-
definitely. I
have
would
on your
love to
wish
get
list?
like a new rug. Yeah, and I want a new neighborhood too. Because I mean, I love my neighborhood so much, but like
It's very nice.
Oh yeah. Because you
Right by the
How long
lake,
did you
too.
live over there?
I was only there, so I was probably only there for like 2-ish years. Is that right? 2-ish years, maybe
Okay.
a little under. But then my boyfriend had lived there before, so I was like kind of squatting there.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
nice.
The squat.
Okay.
Yeah, so because I was living at home, and then I would just be there a lot. So it was kind of like I felt like I was there for 3-ish or maybe longer or shorter. I don't know.
Yeah.
Regardless, there was an in-between period, and then I was there officially. And
Officially,
then
right.
I moved out in January. So
Okay, cool.
yeah, but
Yeah,
still
I've
not
been here
too
for like
far.
almost like about 5 years.
Yeah,
So,
in Echo Park, in the same place. Okay, cool.
Yeah, and it feels like home, and like I love it, but like at the same time, I'm like,
change.
you know, like I'm ready just for like a new chapter.
Yeah, and I think like it's totally worth it, especially if you're, you know, renting, so it's not like you have to feel like you're like locked in if you're able to get out of there. And then, you know, I like moving sucked, but we got movers, which was really nice.
Oh, that's the move.
Yeah, because I can't carry shit. Like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know what we would have done without these. These guys were like, they like rang our doorbell early in the morning, which was kind of stressful.
We are here.
We were like, oh, okay, they're gonna come between like 10 and 11. That's when we had scheduled it, and they came at 8. So we were like not ready. But
the motherfucking
it was
morning.
so it was like, okay, Saturday or Sunday. We did it on a weekend because of work and stuff, and then. They were just like wrapping shit up and like bouncing it on the ground. Like it was a little rough, but I mean, at the end of the day, our apartment doesn't matter because like we're moving out of it. Here, we just had to move into the front place, so like they did it in like 3 hours too, and they were just like chugging along. Like it was magical. I can't believe people do that.
No, it's incredible.
A lot of physical labor.
Yeah, it's so much. Like so Jesus Christ,
that was worth it for us. But we just have like a couple big pieces that it's like I think I would break it, or I just would break myself. So it's like worth paying the money.
Well, I got a new bed after my unofficial divorce. I was like, I don't want to sleep on the same bed, so I got like a new bed frame, like everything, and that was the first time that I just paid someone else to do it because I was like, you know what, like I'm not spending 4 hours putting this bullshit together.
And like being stressed out about that, not worth it.
Yeah, no.
So that's like the one thing is the moving thing. It did make me want to be a minimalist. I'm like, I should probably just live out of a backpack.
Oh, I've already started like giving so much stuff away.
Yeah. Throw it all out. We literally had to like, oh God. Well, we had a lot of food in our fridge, which was like the dumbest thing. I had to move like 4 packs of chicken broth. They like moved it for us, which was fine, but it was just like hilarious. I'm like, oh wow, I've got this like chicken broth.
Like this will be coming with me.
Yeah.
So
I guess I and since then I've drank all the chicken broth.
Amazing.
I mean, I made it into stuff, but you know.
Yeah.
So it was worth it. But yeah, change of scenery always nice. Like part of me, would you ever consider, like obviously I'm not like don't for my own selfish reasons, but moving cities because I kind of am like I've been here because I grew up here.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel like, I wonder if I should experience another city, but I don't think it'll happen anytime soon. I'm just like, you know, as far as change of scenery goes, that is the biggest change of scenery.
Honestly, I was just talking about this with someone. I'm content with LA right now, and like I feel like I have things like in the pipeline that I'm trying to, you know, accomplish and whatever. But I always about like once a year, sometimes more, I always think like, you know what if I just sold all my stuff and just moved to New York right now? Like, cause sometimes I just think like, I think I would be better at stand-up if I
they always say it's like
I always think like, oh, the grass is always greener, but like I have more connections out here and then I have to like restart. I don't know. But like, I always like toy with the idea of just moving out there.
Yeah. Wait, did you live there for a little bit though?
No. So, I went out there for 2 summers during high school. I did, like a film camp or whatever when I was 16.
Oh wow.
And then I did like some like writing programs and acting programs. It was, I forget like exactly like where it was, but it was like by like kind of like Times Square, kind of like a fucking nightmare. But then also did like a writing program like through NYU and stuff.
Oh, cool. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you kind of know, like, at least you spent some time there. Like, I feel like the longest I've ever been there is like 5 days, but
no, I spent, I spent like, it was like 2 summers there. It was really, really fun. And I didn't do stand-up at the time, but like I wish I did it. But like but it was really great being out there. But like I think I would love to like spend a year out there like before like I have like a family or anything. Not like that's like happening anytime soon, but like
family's coming.
Yeah.
And they're knocking on the door.
No, but like before. Cool. You know?
Yeah, totally. I mean, I think that's the thing that like whenever we talk to people who are more settled down, it's like, oh, just get all your dreams out now.
Yeah. I don't know. Like
Which is funny, but I don't know.
Some of my friends were like, "Hey, I was born and raised in the city." I'm like, "You have scary ass energy," and like I respect you.
Sure. Yeah, New York, like Manhattan. Kids.
And you're hot, but
like,
you do scare me. So no.
Taking the subway when they're like prepubescent, like ticket holders. Yeah, it's pretty weird. Can't imagine. No, but yeah, definitely a lot of people. Grass is always greener, I guess. Like I feel like I do kind of look at other folks in other cities, or like people.
Where would you go? What other city like are you thinking?
I mean, I think I would definitely like just practically probably New York as well because it does still like allow us to do what we like to do, which is like stand up and entertainment and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, then part of me was like, well, you know, there's always the chance that like you get a job. I get a job out there or something, so I have to live out there, and so then it'll just bring me there. But then the more that I live my life, I'm like, oh, it's a little harder to move in that direction. So if you're not making it happen, then it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I can't just sit around and be like, well, I can't wait for my like Hogwarts letter in the mail to go to New York. You know?
Yeah.
So part of me definitely New York. I would say like other than that, I think I just think about if I weren't doing this particular profession, you know, I see a lot of friends go abroad and live abroad for a little bit.
Yeah.
And maybe they're working for like the branch of their company that is out there.
Yes.
So that's kind of nice. You know, that's like a very stable way to do it. But I guess, you know, also just the ability to like pick up and leave would be cool, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Which I guess we can do easier than they can do, say, if you're like locked into like a job that is keeping you in a certain city or something. But, yeah, I don't know. So yeah, part of me is like, ooh, what would it be like to live outside the U.S. because I've never really done that before. I didn't study abroad, or I didn't really like. Yeah, I never did that. But
you're right. I only did one semester of college, and I was like, I'm gonna head out. But but my first time going abroad or to the UK and to Europe was this summer.
Yeah,
it was so much fun, and I went with Bryce. Bryce. He's one of my little buddies, but he's amazing. And but I was doing comedy in London, and it was incredible.
Cool.
I was like, fuck, like I would move here.
I feel like I've heard
insane.
That stand up is like huge there.
Yeah,
because it's just
the rooms are great. People are so excited for it. Like, yeah,
weird. What's that like?
I know. I was
like,
like,
out here, people are like, oh, you're interrupting me and my date. But yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that's another like that's the other thing. It'd have to be kind of like English speaking because it's like I can't learn another language.
Oh my god!
Sorry.
When Bryce and I were when we were in Paris, like everyone, so everyone had warned us like, oh, Parisians, like they're gonna fucking hate you, like they hate Americans, fuck you, and then like people in London were like, oh yeah, like you're gonna be screwed, and I'm like, oh shit, and like
they're gonna like throw, what do they think?
They're gonna throw snails at us. I was like, what's happening? And like Bryce and I one time we on like our first like real day there because we got there at night, and then the next morning we were like walking around, and we would like walk up to a cafe, and then someone would look at us, and then we would like run away because like we were too and then finally we were so hungry. I was like, all right, Bryce, I was like, Bryce, I'm gonna be honest, I'm not gonna speak because I'm so scared, but just go in there. And Bryce was actually like the one, like I thought I knew more French than Bryce, but Bryce is like, all right, I learned these 3 phrases, let's go. I was like, all right, honey, I'm shy, put the team on your back because mama is motherfucking hungry. And he went in there and like spoke his like little French, and then they were actually so nice to us, and like everyone I feel like built it up in our head like, oh, they're gonna fucking spit on you,
you guys are
they're gonna hate you, you dirty pigs. I'm like, oh my god, okay. But then everyone, like, honestly, they were nicer to us in Paris than they were in London. Like, it was, I know, I was like, fuck y'all.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, they've got to see a bajillion tourists every day. So there's going to be maybe some of the local people who are like, I'm better than you, but they won't necessarily like.
Of course, and
like
there's Parisians. I feel like for the people that we interacted with were so funny, and like there's a great comedy scene in Paris too.
Oh wow, okay, yeah.
Honey, I guess we're going. Fuck. Okay.
Oh, I guess we're gonna live in Paris. No, that's incredible. I went on a little. Actually, my friend who's living with me right now, we traveled together right after graduating and went, to like a lot of European cities and stuff like that. So it was like a very quintessential, like, traveling around before you have to like have responsibilities.
Right.
And, but yeah, I mean, like when we did go to Paris, and when we were there, it was kind of like, I think we didn't know anybody knew French, so we were just like bopping around like Americans.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean? Like they probably hated us, but we're like, whatever. Can't understand, don't know what's going on. So it's fine. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely like, it does get that rep. I think also France in general is supposed to be nice, but then like Paris itself is sort of like, probably like New York.
Okay, so London reminded me of San Francisco. And then Paris reminded me of New York.
Cool.
It was such an incredible city. But also, so that was my first time ever going to like a country where, because I'd never been into a country where I didn't speak the language or like, or you know what I mean? Cool. And like, I just felt so like in awe. Like it was such a unique, like, and terrifying feeling to just be so like a fish out of water. Like I was just like, and I felt like I was like, damn, I'm like old to be experiencing this. Because I feel like everyone was like, no, when I was in college, I went here, And I was like, well, I didn't do that. But
yeah.
like a man came we were outside of this museum. This man comes up to us and like he was super friendly. He was just trying to like sell us tickets, and he asked us a question in in French. And I just started, it had been like a long day where like we were doing like 10 to 12 mile days like of just on our feet.
Yeah.
And he just comes up to me and like asked me a question, and I just started crying. And then I was like, I'm so sorry. And then he was like, why are you crying? And he's like, I just asked if you wanted a ticket. And I was like, I just feel like an idiot. And he's like, you're okay. And then like he ended up like consoling Bryce and I, and it was like,
wow,
yeah.
nice man, sticking around.
He was like, this bitch is crazy. But no, I was
That's like a lot to handle, you know.
I was like, I'm a little candy ass. Like I like get so like I was just so overwhelmed.
I'm a huge crier. Like I feel like I used to, when I was younger, I used to be so ashamed that I would cry, because I would cry.
Yes.
Like all the time. Like not all the time, but I think I was just like very hyper aware of when I would cry, and know that it would be oftentimes very public.
Yes.
Like I mean, we talked about basketball already, but sometimes if I felt like I was letting the team down, I was crying for sure.
Oh,
It was
Sierra.
a lot. And then I would be even more upset that I cried in front of people.
Oh, of course. And
you
then
know?
that triggers more crying. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
terrible.
You and I are
Hyperventilating,
cut from the
whole
same
shebang.
cloth.
Yeah. So I do appreciate, when I know, because then some people are like, oh, you're lucky to be able to cry, because some people
We're
can't
tapped
just, like,
in,
cry.
honey.
And
Yeah.
I'm like, I mean, I wish I could have like split the difference,
Yeah. No,
because I
definitely.
probably cried too much, but yeah, I mean, it's part of my.
Is anyone in your family like
Right.
that? Like, okay,
Well, I think my sister.
your sister.
But
okay.
we joke that my mom is like, she like doesn't get it. She's like, wait, what? Like, I feel like she's very not soft. Like,
Oh,
that.
I know. Oh, well, yeah. So my mom and my brother do not cry. Like I call them the robots of the family. Like they're just like beep boop beep. I'm like, what is going on?
Good.
Like one time, my
Yeah,
mom told
can't
me really horrifying news. It was really sad, and I started crying. And I was like, Mom, oh my God. She goes, Harper. I'm like, yeah. She's like, why the heck are you crying? And I was like, wait,
Right.
what? I'm like, what did I just miss? I'm like, where's your emotion?
That's so funny. That's kind of like my mom
And then-
sometimes too. Yeah.
Like a breeze will blow by, and my dad will just start tearing up. He's like, isn't nature beautiful? I'm like, yes, Dad, it is.
Tender,
Like my
so
dad and I
good.
are the
Yeah,
criers, and then my mom and my brother are like, tears? You're not going to see any from me?
Right.
You're like, okay.
I feel like my dad. I don't think I've seen my dad cry, which is kind of common for people, I guess.
Yeah.
But I would say he's probably sensitive like us, in the sense that I think he gets more hurt by like words that don't necessarily mean to hurt him. You know what I mean? And so I think that's what I'm learning. It's like, okay, I think we have that sensitivity thing
Yeah.
a little bit like him, but I don't think he like cries as much in the same way, at least not that I've seen, which is,
Right.
I'd love to see my dad cry. I mean,
Yeah.
definitely not sad
Let's make
tears.
them. Okay, yeah.
Dad cry. Yeah, no, it's, I mean, yeah, I think it's like interesting because, of course, patriarch of the fam.
Yeah.
They gotta be whatever, but it's like, just.
No,
let it
dude,
out,
like my
let it
mom's
out,
like the
Dad.
ox of the family. Like she's like the matriarch, the bad bitch.
Yeah,
like
nice.
if they're like she loves maybe not necessarily like loves confrontation, but she doesn't shy away from it. She's like, oh, someone messed up, I'll be right there. I'm like, all right, mommy. Like she's like
She has
grizzly
to, like,
mom.
pull
And then
it
my
together.
dad's like more of like a chiller, more of like a hey, like we don't need to do this. Ooh. Like he's like very like kind of like laid back, and then like a total crier.
Seems
Like
like a good.
it's a good balance. They're a fun
huh?
mix.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, you got someone for everything.
Yeah. No,
All
definitely.
situations. That makes sense. I think, I wonder about that too. And I think my sister and I always talk about how, like, we probably, it's like, there's also the thing too where it's like, I think with women crying, like people sometimes think it's like, oh, you're doing it on purpose because of X or Y, or like you're trying to get attention. It's like, no, literally, if I had a choice, I would not.
You know what? No, because it's emotionally intelligent. I think to be. It's like I'm gonna like spin it positively for us. Okay, no, but it's like I feel like
Thank you, on brand.
But I feel like it's a sign of emotional intelligence when you when you cry, because it's like so many people, and like I know that there's like different ways of coping with everything, but if you're just always like stifling things, then you're not really feeling, and then you're living numb.
That's scary. I don't want to.
Bitch, we're feeling out here.
Yeah,
God.
I want to live numb.
Yes,
That's gross.
I know. No.
But yeah, good. Gotta cry. Gotta be hydrated to cry too.
Exactly.
It's important. Let's check time. All right, we good. Are you good on time? It's 1:13.
Yeah. No, I'm good.
Cool. Okay, sweet. But yeah, so good to know. Good to know that there are other criers.
Oh yeah.
But
it's getting to the point where like
uh-huh.
honestly, like there's like during like that cute little period that I will never stop talking about, like people, like I just wasn't even like trying to hide it anymore, because I was just like, so I was like, I reached like a new level of sad, and like people would like FaceTime me and I wouldn't even stop crying. I'm like, this is it, this is where we are, honey. They're like, Jesus, Harp, like
No, No, it's good. I mean, yeah, you gotta be vulnerable with friends.
Yeah.
I think that's super helpful so that they can help you, you know? Yeah, I mean, I think that's an interesting thing. Like, I feel like when one big thing that I've been talking about a lot is, like, calling people more, because I feel like I kind of lost that because I started listening to podcasts. So I'm thinking about, like, sometimes I would probably... Back in the day, I would probably call people when I was, like, doing some task that I could talk and do it. So, like, washing the dishes or cleaning up or something like that. But then now it's like, oh, well, I have a podcast, so I'll just listen to that. And then I realized, like, stop calling people.
Wow.
But now I'm like, oh, yeah, that's actually way more useful. And, you know, like, FaceTiming, again, that's, like, a little bit more involved.
I need to calm down. See, okay, so you are switching them out. I need to do, honestly, like, the opposite. So I'm always, like, calling someone, because I don't have a car, so, like, whenever I'm walking, I'm like, oh, let me call so-and-so.
That's a good call, yeah.
I love to, today, I just was, like, Paula V FaceTime me, and I was, like, getting in the shower. I was, like... Okay, we've already broken so many boundaries. Here we go. And then I was like FaceTimed her while I was like in the shower. I was like, I need to stop. But like, I used to listen to podcasts too, but I feel like I never listen to them anymore.
Okay.
And I'm like, I wonder what learning is like. Like, what if we did that, you know?
You know, I'm listening to like stupid podcasts most of the time. They're like, you know, they're not like NPR. Like,
have you ever listened to the podcast, My Dad Wrote a Porno?
No, but didn't they make that into a TV show or something?
Oh my God, did they?
I don't know. But I heard it was...
Okay, I need to look that up.
I don't know.
It is... That podcast, though, is so goddamn funny. Like, that was, like, probably like, the last one that I, like, religiously listened to.
Oh, interesting. What was it about?
Okay, so this woman's dad wrote a porno, like a porn book, whatever, for adult novel, whatever it's called, and then and it's like so bad, but like so funny, and it's like really like raunchy, and they're English too, so it's like extra funny.
Literally I cannot laugh at that accent.
Oh my God, and it's like the names are like ridiculous, like Priscilla, and it's like what are we doing here? But yeah, no, it's great.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then that's
and
like
then
a limited, like it's like a certain number of episodes and ends kind of thing? Or like...
Well, yeah, it did, but then the dad, like, it got so, the podcast got so popular, the dad wrote another book, and then they're like, all right, we're reading this now.
Season 2. I see. Yeah, that's fun.
It's
so
great.
they just read it out loud.
Yeah, they just read it out loud, and then, like, they'll, like, roast it as they go.
Nice. Wow.
I'd be like, your dad wrote this, and she's like, I know. Yeah, it's, like, crazy.
Okay, so it's one person who's not the daughter.
There's 3 people, yeah. There's, like, the girl and then 2 guys.
Okay. That's great. Yeah, I think I remember that HBO like made a series based off of it, like a TV.
Oh wow!
But then I think it didn't do.
Oh, it didn't well.
It's like hard to translate.
Yeah, I don't know how that would work as a TV show unless they're like you're like
doing
turning the porn into, which I don't know. But yeah.
Right. Okay. So yeah. Okay. I'll totally listen to that. But I mean, I think what I mean, like as great as podcasts can be, like before bed, that's a good way to do it too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't want to replace that sort of human connection that is like calling a friend or like, you know, even friends that sometimes I'm like, oh, like I'll see you or something, like somebody who's like in LA. I don't feel like I need to like call or catch up. But then it's like, actually though, if you know, we go a span of like not seeing each other, it would be nice to call. You know what I mean?
When you and Veronica went to happy hour that one time, that was so much fun.
Yeah. That was really fun. What was that place called again? Taste. Yeah. That was great. Well, we'll do that. Happy hour. Gotta do happy hour. I love happy hour because I feel like we're so lucky, or at least typically that like we can make it to a lot of the ones.
Yeah.
It's like for sometimes it's work hours, but
yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, totally we should do that. But you know, in the event that like things get mixed up or whatever, then like I'm like, I'll call you guys.
Yes, call a bitch up.
It's lots of fun. But I mean, FaceTime though, that is kind of the ideal thing. I haven't really gotten used to FaceTime though. It's intense.
Really? Oh no, see, I'm like, it like weirds me out if someone just calls me on the phone. I'm like, why can I not see your face? Like, I'm like insane.
Where are you?
And I'm like, what is going? Well, no, and it's funny too because like, you know, I'm like, I spend like a lot of nights at my boyfriend's house, and then like with like the little like group chat with my friends I'm in, like they'll like be like our nightly FaceTime, like what's going on? And I'm like, fuck, I'm missing it. Like I get FOMO now that I'm like missing out. You know, I'm like, I feel like I'm unhealthy.
No,
I'm
that's
so
normal.
codependent. I'm like, oh.
No, I feel like that's normal if there's like a group thing. And
yeah,
like,
it's the group chat.
I need to show up.
And like we'll 3-way FaceTime.
Oh, that's fun. Wait, is that possible?
Yes.
I don't even know that.
Oh, no, it is. No, you can like get 4 in there.
Jesus,
yeah.
I've never even done this. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay, I'll loop you in with Veronica next time. It's going to be good.
Okay, please do. Yeah. So that's the other thing too. It's like my phone something's wrong with it, so the ear thing doesn't work. So I have to have headphones.
Oh, okay.
Or speakerphone.
Okay.
Speakerphone. But like sometimes I feel like, okay, if I'm out and about, I don't want to like speakerphone to everybody in the universe. Or here I will lose my headphones. So I need to buy new headphones. That's really important. I'm trying to get AirPods. I don't know. Do you have AirPods?
No, I don't, because I feel like I'm not
likes
cool enough to pull them off.
Oh, definitely cool. I feel like they're not cool. I feel like they're kind of
Really? No, I feel like all the cool people have them, and like I'm over here with like my wire headphones. I'm like, ugh.
I mean, yeah, I have my wire, but then I lose them, so I don't even know where they are right now. So I have to like use like headphones.
No,
and then
AirPods are
speak into,
fucking
like,
hot.
the
Get some
weird
AirPods.
volume. Okay, it's gonna happen. So then I'm gonna be very mobile and
Yeah.
have my phone and be able
You know,
to talk
like I
into
always
it.
see like hot ass business ladies having
Okay,
AirPods,
yeah, that could look
and I'm
good.
like, yes, bitch.
Because it's like hotter than a Bluetooth. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
no.
But it does use Bluetooth. But like imagine like that one little piece that like people would make fun of men or businessmen wearing Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Being lame.
No, that's like
It's the
you look like an
replacement.
office like little bitch boy. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry to say that, but that's just like what it comes to my.
I
That's
mean,
my
they
visceral
can't help
reaction.
it.
But
Office little bitch boy.
Yeah.
So yeah, AirPods a step above.
yeah,
So yeah, that's something I need to buy before I can embark upon this FaceTime journey.
okay. You let me know when
And
you have it though,
then-
because
It'll
I'm gonna
happen. I mean,
do
I
an
can talk
aggressive
before. I
FaceTime.
can talk before then. Don't worry.
Okay.
I'll do speaker. But yeah, and then I also need to get better phone service at some point because I literally have T-Mobile and it's the worst thing ever.
dang.
Not that like if I'm home, Wi-Fi we're good, but literally I have T-Mobile. It's like the cheapest thing ever. But when I was taking calls in like even the center of Hollywood when I was working there, I would drop 100% of my calls. It was really awful.
Really?
Because it would be like conference calls and then they have to like loop the person back in. That would happen. Like it was like devastating to my just general work life.
Oh shit.
It was terrible. Yeah, so T-Mobile sucks, but
Well, Sprint
really
is
know
like
what to do about
there's like some gnarly stuff about Sprint, but I will say like I get like good service, and also like when
important.
you go abroad, like you don't have to pay extra for.
oh yeah, T-Mobile does that too, but that's
Okay,
the
that's
only
good.
good thing about it.
Okay.
It's like terrible otherwise, yeah. So
Okay, well, more of the
These are
story.
some things.
Fuck T-Mobile.
yeah, these are some
Okay.
things I need to consider. Well, I think the real thing is like I just have to only take Wi-Fi calls. So FaceTime works,
Yeah.
FaceTime audio. FaceTime
Boom.
audio me if nobody's,
Perfect.
nobody has a camera.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but these are all good things. I used to use GroupMe as a group text app. Did you
the
ever
hell's
use
that?
GroupMe? So I guess it's kind of died, but it was basically like an app that you would download that could be like a group text. So it's sort of like Facebook Messenger, where
Oh,
if everybody
okay.
doesn't have a like iPhone, then it doesn't mess things up a little bit. 'Cause
Okay.
Sometimes if it's like a group text with an Android or something, people like some get some and some don't. It's like
Okay.
kind of fucked up. So anyway, GroupMe was great because it also had like this like system. So then you could like see, this was before I guess iMessage had the like system, but like you could like say somebody posts a thing and it's like, especially it's fun if you're like saying jokes and then everybody likes it. You're like, ooh, I got 17 likes. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's cute.
But within the group text. So, excuse me. I had that going with some friends from college, and then like it just completely died. Like everybody just stopped talking to each other. We were like, oh wow,
we're over this now.
And then
You're like,
I think
got
my
it.
phone like offloaded GroupMe, so I like wasn't even getting the notifications.
Oh,
Then we
dang.
finally just like axed that and made like a real text chain.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully that lasts. But I feel like it's so funny because all these things.
It's like
it's
ever
we
changing.
try, but yeah,
and you
yeah.
never know like what app is gonna have like the longevity.
Yeah. And we would do video chat with Google Hangouts because I thought that was the one that you could do multiple, but I guess FaceTime you can too. So
Yeah.
that's great. So many options we have here. Yeah. So how do you keep in contact with your friends that aren't in LA?
That are just texting.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
texting, and then honestly, like it's so funny because like when Bryce lived here, he moved to Portland, but like when he lived here, like it was like we were just seeing each other all the time, and like I'm up like at all hours of the night, and he worked at a bar job, so he would come over to my place at like 3 a.m,
Oh, Jesus.
and he would just like we would just like hang like whatever.
That's great.
But like now that he's away, like honestly, we like talk in like Instagram DMs all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah.
FaceTime. But
That's the interesting thing is like I'll honestly be more Instagram responsive sometimes.
yeah,
Which is embarrassing. but,
Yeah,
like,
no, but it's so it's
Yeah.
so weird how that works. And like I talked to his boyfriend like through DMing too, but it's like I have his number, but for whatever it's
right.
like we're
'Cause
gonna
it's like
DM.
the conversation's already begun.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Create a new.
And then we can.
thread?
It's easier to gossip there if like we're talking about someone, because then it's like, oh, like check out this post, like here.
Yeah, that's good.
That just
Yeah,
sounded
'cause
so bitchy, but
sometimes
that's
it'll
true.
go- no, yeah, because sometimes like a conversation can start off of you sending a post, and then it's like, oh yeah,
Right.
by the way, what are you doing on Friday? You know what I mean? Like that's sort of like already, you're already seeing that. So what's going to happen? Plus it has the scene, it has the red receipts, which I hate.
Oh, really? Okay, no, I have red receipts on.
No, I mean, you on your texts.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't.
I don't know. I'm like sick. I really
No, I think that's good. And I've heard that it does at least make, like,
I feel like it holds me accountable because I'm like very spacey. So, and I like get lost in my head all the time. So it's like, if like, I feel like, I don't know, like it makes me like respond to people more because I'm like, okay, if I open this, they're going to see it and I need to respond to them.
I know. See, that's what I'm scared of. Well, so you know what then I end up doing? Especially Facebook Messenger, because that has read receipts too,
Yeah.
which is so archaic that Facebook is archaic. But anyway, I just don't open the messages. And then I realize, like, oh, I never opened it, so I don't even know what it was about.
That's good. That's good.
Which is, like, probably worse. Like, I should just open it.
Oh, honey, no,
and
ignore.
Leave it unread.
No, you leave a strong ignore.
But like,
you just hit delete. You're like, never saw it, honey. Never saw it.
Yeah, so then that's the thing I'd be worried about with text is like if somebody sends me an important text and I'm like, I can't open this now because I can't respond right now.
Yeah.
And I'll just never open it. And then I'll be like, oops, 6 months have passed tonight.
What about when you're trying to like punish someone and you're like leaving them on red?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I mean, who does that?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I haven't thought about that. But I'm sure it will.
Because you're more. Maybe I need another 3 months of therapy, and then I won't think about that anymore.
Yeah. Sure. No, I think what I've had is like emails is where I get most upset with people because it's like a lot of work things.
Do you have that thing? Uh-huh. It's like an attachment to your email or something. I don't even know exactly how it works, but it shows you
if they open it.
Yes, when they receive it, how many times they open it. I'm like, what? My friend emailed her ex-boyfriend and it like showed like how many times he read it and it was like insane.
Did you read it was it like a heartfelt note?
Yeah, and it was like, but then he like didn't respond, but he like read it like 60 times. So I was like, what? And then Veronica has it too, and so she's like, I use it for work, but then also it's like when you submit to shows, like it like shows you like, oh, like did they open it? Oh, they did, and they just didn't fuck with it. Okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Rather than like how many times do I follow up kind of thing.
But see, I haven't
I don't have it. But
I don't have that because that scares me. That's what scares me.
It's a lot of information, right? It's like
it's some would say too much.
Yeah, it could be too much information. I used to have it, I think, and it would come in handy for those like kind of cold emails that I would send out, like which I do less of, but should do more. You know, it's like kind of on my list. I'm like, oh, you got to put yourself out there more, Sierra.
Right.
So I think if you're sending to somebody who you're like, oh, I really don't know if they're a super busy person or if they even open their emails. But that way, like, yeah, I guess the benefit would be like, okay, so sometimes you can see they opened it. Okay, great. So I can probably expect a response. Mm-hmm. And then if it doesn't come, then maybe I can send a follow-up email. And then if they open that follow-up email and then don't respond again, then you know they're seeing your thing twice. Yeah. You know, and then maybe you don't send that second follow-up.
Right.
But exactly. I don't know.
So it's like, do I want to bombard? Okay, there's a creepier, or not even, okay, yeah. So there's like this creepy thing that you can download and it shows you who's looking at your Instagram. It shows you like who's typing your name in. It's like I had it for like 2 days and I was like, oh, I hate this. I hate this.
I can't believe that's even a thing.
Yeah, it's like super creepy. And I was like blown away. I was like,
did it give you any information of people that like, that was useful? Like, do you feel like it was like, oh, okay, that person
I was like, wow, this ex is not over me, honey, and I'm not over you either. Yeah, no. Wow. No, but I had so it was like interesting to see that.
Wow.
And then
what's that called?
Oh my god,
I mean, there's no way.
I don't even have it on my phone. I don't know. I'll have to like look it up. And it's like Instastock. I don't even know. It's like something. It's like cheesy as fuck, but like it's something like that.
Sure.
But it is so much, and it shows you like who's unfollowing you, who isn't following you but still looking at your page. Like it's who goes to your page the most. Like it's like stuff you just really don't need to know. Like I don't recommend downloading it because it is a cancer to your mental health. But it's a cute little fun. If you're like, is my ex thinking about you? Hey,
you'll know.
This just in? Yes, they are.
Know. And that's a little warning to everyone out there who's stalking their ex.
Yeah, just a little warning. If you are stalking your ex, just watch the fuck out because they can tell.
They might know, yeah. Which maybe you want them to know. I don't know.
Maybe you're fearless.
Yeah, reckless.
Or reckless, honey.
Word of the night.
Yes.
Or the year.
Yeah.
Okay, that's intense.
Yeah.
That's intense.
It really made me rethink who I was looking at too. I was like, who the fuck else has this?
I would say it's good to yeah, I know, right? So now we're gonna
I'm
be
like,
careful.
and I'm only using Instagram for business. Okay.
Yeah, I guess I'm just looking at people that I know.
Right.
But yeah, I think the other thing would be, that would be useful. Is like seeing, because it's like seeing who follows you or that you didn't realize, or something that you're like, oh, I actually do like that person, we should connect. You know what I mean, for like business. But like, say somebody is following you and you didn't even notice, and they're like another comedian or somebody who you'd like to collaborate with, then that way like it would be good to like have a list of people by, I mean, as gross as it is, maybe like the number of their followers or something, so that you could kind of know like, are they somebody you'd want to work with or whatever.
Of course. No, there's definitely like pros to it, but the sick parts of our psyche are the things that
But is anybody using it for that? No.
No.
Yeah, wow, that's fun. It's a lot of fun. There's a lot of those out there. Did you ever get into Snapchat? / do you use it? I don't.
I don't even have it on my phone anymore.
Yeah, I had
because I just got a new phone, and I'm like, the only reason why I would have it is so like earlier in the year I was like dating young dudes, and like young dudes like love I don't even care. I'll air it out.
Love TikTok and Snapchat.
Did I hook up with every 24-year-old guy in LA? Listen, yeah, I did.
I mean,
it was a busy 2019 was very busy for me. But no.
What are they born in 97?
Something sweet like that. No, but I no, so I was doing that, but then also my little cousins have it, and so like they'll Snapchat me. So maybe I should download it again, because I like that's like honestly like the only way, because like they won't text me back, like they're like 12 and like 13, between 12 and 15, and like they're all about like TikTok and Snapchat and bullshit. I don't have TikTok on my phone because that scares me, and I can't. It makes me uncomfortable.
It's uncomfortable. Okay. Why did it make you uncomfortable?
I don't judge you. No, it makes me uncomfortable because maybe it's just because I'm somewhat shy, and I just like dancing into your phone. I'm like, I don't want to do this, and I don't want to look at it either. But like, my friends have hilarious TikToks, and like they put their stand up there, and like it gets like a ton of views.
Okay, that's
but I'm like, at the same time, I'm like, who's watching it? It's like more 12-year-olds. Like they can't even go into the clubs.
Yeah, it's really underage as fuck.
But
I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I have no idea. I've talked to so many people about TikTok, like from a strategy, quote unquote, point of view, disgusting. But like, I think because it's like other comedians who are maybe not the demographic, like we're older, but we at least are like, oh, well, maybe this could be translated into something later. So like, how do we kind of capitalize on it now when it's still like kind of new, and, you can still, there's not like TikTok. I think the algorithm doesn't lean towards like only already popular videos get popular views or whatever.
Right.
So anyway, regardless, I think what's kind of funny is like, there's a lot of like young people on it. So then you kind of get the sense of like, ooh, I'm like watching these like young kids.
Yeah.
And that feels weird. It's like going on some, YouTuber thing, and like, like, ooh, I don't really know if I want to see what's going on here, even though it's harmless.
Yeah.
Or it's like, these like young, I don't know, young YouTuber type things. But so there's that. But then I think if you like watch enough ones that aren't that, then it knows what you like, and then you can kind of
then you don't have to look at the little children anymore.
Yeah, you don't have to look at the kids, or like they always do these things where it's like, it's like hot people essentially, but they're probably like 12, but they're like, it's like they'll like
face. Yeah, like
they're like, ooh, what does Irish and Japanese look like? And then they like that's something that was showing up on mine. So maybe it's just because I was like excited to see, but it's like they'll like cover their face, and then it's like, oh, they have like blue eyes, but they look kind of Asian or something. It's like that kind of.
Okay, when I was on, I don't know what the hell was wrong with me, but like I was on it for like a week because I was like, because Paula V always does TikToks, or not always, but like she does TikToks, and so I was like, okay, like I'll be a supportive friend. And then I was looking at my little cousins and stuff, and I'm like, you guys are dorks. What am I doing on here? I don't even have a profile. But then what was always showing up on mine was like frat bros doing shit in their school, and I'm like, I don't like frat dudes. Like I'm sure maybe there's like one or two nice ones, but I'm just like I don't want to see it. And like they're all like, oh, let me crush this beer, and I'm like, I hate all of you. Like I don't want to see this.
That's fair. Yeah, not fun. There's also, we found, oh my god, yeah, me and my friend found this kind of area of TikTok that was like young Trump supporters. So it was like kids doing TikToks that were like,
ew,
this, like vote for Trump at the end, and we were like, oh my god, it was like a lot.
That's like really the dark web.
It's the dark web of TikTok. So just, everyone out there, that like, it's just so insane, because I think it's it is very clear we're in a bubble. Like, I know I'm in a bubble, but it's just like, oh yeah, this is another way to like get outside of that bubble. And you're like, I'm not happy with what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
Because it's like dorm room with like Trump posters and stuff. And it's not ironic. It's like genuine. They like legitimately are doing young people kind of viral challenges, but like in favor of Trump. It's so fucking weird.
Wow.
It's terrifying. But yeah, so that's another fun part of the internet that we found.
Yeah.
But yeah, TikTok, fun, addicting.
Yeah.
You know, I saw one where this guy was like walking his parrots. It was super weird. He had two colorful macaw type parrots on leashes and was running, and they were flapping.
What?
It was like the funniest thing ever. There's some great content.
Okay, maybe I'll rethink it.
I mean, you know, I think it's so addictive, and in some ways, if you're trying to solve the, you know, following people on Instagram and like pining after they have that nice job or whatever. The TikTok is like viral videos. It's like watching a bunch of short, stupid videos.
So so is it like TikTok to me just feels like a different type of like Vine, basically.
Yeah. Oh, it's totally Vine.
Okay.
I loved Vine, but it died.
Okay, I loved Vine too.
Yeah, it was so fun.
Yeah.
I felt like it was like better at understanding how those worked, but like I guess I just haven't spent that mumuch time on TikTok.
Yeah.
But TikTok does seem very like audio driven, and you're like using songs, right, or
Right.
popular noises and copying it or lip syncing or whatever. So. But then there's some just that are videos, straight up videos that are like viral material, you know, and you can see them being like on. I don't know what the length is.
Do you put your stand up on there?
I haven't really posted anything. So I had made panda rice balls. I made panda rice balls. My sister got me this little like panda rice ball maker thing.
That's so
and they're
cute.
so cute and they look like pandas. So I made that for a party and I like took a video of like me moving one into like a panda pile, and then I set it to the panda song, you know, panda designer song, and then it did I put on my story on Instagram, which like, you know, then friends are like, oh cute, and then I was like, oh okay, I think this could work as a TikTok, so I put it on TikTok, 4 views.
God damn it. Okay,
it's okay. I mean, listen, I did spend hours on those panda rice balls, but it's okay.
Fuck.
So I think it should have gotten more, but I'm learning still, so I'm open.
You're still
I'm definitely
new. It's
open
okay.
to like trying again.
Okay, well, listen, if you want my cousins to reach out to you, honey, I will go get them.
Do they run a workshop at all?
Yeah, it's on Saturdays. No, just kidding.
If I could Skype in. I mean, for sure, too, like, I used to like Snapchat for the idea that it was kind of more opt-in. That like, okay, if somebody doesn't want to see my stupid post, at least they had to tap on me, you know?
Yeah.
And then now Instagram Stories has that already, so that's why I was like, fuck Snapchat.
Yeah.
You know?
I just like don't, yeah.
But I like that TikTok at least gives you like a clean slate, so you can kind of just like, I don't think any of my friends are really like on it, well, except for you, and then like if you rejoin, and then I don't really know anybody else. And I guess Lexi Grace, do you know that comic Lexi Grace?
Oh, I've heard,
She was the one who actually like was like, you gotta join TikTok, like I think it's the next thing. So I was like, okay.
I think Veronica still has it too.
Okay, great. Well, then way more people.
Hit a
But
bitch
I also
up.
didn't
Let's
even
go.
look. Yeah, I also didn't like add my whatever contacts. I don't know. Is that a
Okay.
thing? But regardless, I think, you know, it'd be nice if I just had like a few friends. But I don't know if it's like, I don't know if it's, you know, if I post something bad, I like the idea of being able to be like, hey, that never happened.
Yeah, you're like,
you know?
just forget about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because that sort of thing, you know, you don't get that much with social media these days.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But yeah, I recommend. I mean, just from a viewer's, you know, an audience perspective, I think it's a lot of fun.
Oh, nice.
They also have like the whole, I think videos that kind of look cool. Like they'll do like gel sparkles dropping into like a big gel thing, and it like swirls around. You know what I mean?
Cool.
So there's, like,
Yeah.
that sort of thing where you're just like, ooh, pretty colors.
Yeah, you're like, things to look at. Yeah.
Yeah, or like ASMR, but I'm not really that into ASMR.
Okay, I hate ASMR or
Okay,
whatever.
yeah.
I can't even say it. I cannot stand it. It's like it puts like negative chills down my spine. Like I don't like it.
It does give me the chills, and I'm not sure if I think they're like in between.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're negative or positive for me.
There's this. I'm forgetting the account's name, but there's this like it's this like woman who's like sexualizing fruit. And like she like fingers different fruits.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I don't know what's wrong with me, but I can like watch her do this for like hours.
Oh, okay.
Like
Well,
it
that's
is
kinda
so
close.
visually appeasing to like see her like stick her fingers into like candle. It's like so gnarly. I wish I could remember what it's called right now, but it is like so.
Is
like,
it on YouTube or Instagram?
I think it's on YouTube too, but it's like God damn it, I wish I could remember right now. But it's like so interesting. Like
In
she'll
its
like
videos.
yeah,
Yeah,
and like
uh-huh.
or she'll like she'll like open up like an orange and then just start like petting the orange in like a really like provocative way, and then just start like fingering the goddamn hell out of it. And I'm like, get that orange, honey, get it. Or, like, it's like gnarly. It like she like really, and I'll be like, whoo, and I'm like, oh my god, that's a cantaloupe. Like, why am I getting freaked out? Like, it's like some people like pimple popping videos.
Right. Yeah,
not me. I am like
one.
a like fruit fingering slut. Like, I love it.
Sure, it's another variation of the same thing.
Did I need to admit that? No, God, no.
Listen, that's part of your self-care. It's part of the positivity, you know?
My therapist recommended it. She's like, go on Instagram.
She's like, listen, have you heard of
Find
this one?
something fun. Yeah.
There's a direct recommendation. She gets commission.
There's this girl who like mushes her face into bread.
Oh, I've totally heard of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Instagram, I think I saw it.
Yeah, she just but like she'll like get like really dressed up and like look all cute in the camera and then just like smash her head into the bread. And I'm like, damn.
I mean, you gotta dress up for those types of events. I think it does add to it.
It is an event. It is an event.
Wait, did you see that gross video that went viral on Twitter that was like the octopus and like the wiggling things?
Ew, what? No.
Okay, so I think it was, I don't really know the context, so I can't speak on this really, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay, honey, go for it.
So I think it's like, there's kind of that genre of video that's kind of like mukbang, but it's like you know, when they eat a lot of eat a lot of things at once or whatever.
Right,
Just like
right.
person eating in front of the camera, and it's pretty satisfying because it looks like they're, you know, feasting, and then sometimes it's like a smallish woman, so maybe people are fascinated by the fact that like she can eat a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
I don't even know.
She's small, yeah.
Right. And so I think it's like this, I think sometimes some of these videos are like Asian women eating live seafood. I'm not positive, but basically it was like this table.
No, girl, what
It was this
the fuck?
table, and she had gloves on, and there's a live octopus, and was kind of like trying to get off of the table. It was a big live octopus. And then in a bin next to it was like all these like flipping out eel creatures. Like, I do not know what they were, but they were small and flippy and slimy, and they were freaking out, and she was freaking out because they were freaking out. And like the whole scene just looked unpleasant. Like, she didn't look like she was having a good time. They obviously weren't having a good time. It was just gross.
And she was eating them?
No, I
Okay,
don't.
okay.
She wasn't, but I think it was kind of the setup was like it would happen, because I have seen other ones where they do eat the like live thing. It's rough.
Yikes.
I don't mean to see them. They're like, it was like on Twitter.
I just kind of like they stumbled.
Like,
on
listen, you know, yes, it's on autoplay, but I
Yeah.
chose the.
You're like,
playlist.
yeah, I made a playlist, but I was.
but I put it on autoplay.
My bad.
But yeah, I think it was like viral on Twitter, and then the meme was like, when you're freaking out because you know, like one of those things. But I have seen them before too, where they do eat the thing. Anyway, not a fan of those.
Yeah.
But I think it's in the same vein as like, you know, kind of these interesting niche videos where these people dress up for this kind of
the internet
strange
is
event.
fascinating in that sense, where like there's, I mean, like it's like, I feel like it's like with everything in life, but like there's something out there for everyone, and it's like I would never even think, like I learned what tentacle porn is like not too long ago, and I was
big.
like,
Hentai.
well, actually I worked Anime Con like a couple years ago.
Oh wow, how's that?
It was so much fun.
Where was that?
So some guy came up to me when I was working in downtown at this little cafe, and he was just, and like we were like chatting and having fun, and he was like, hey, like, would you want to work this convention that's coming into town? I'm like, yeah, sure, dude. Like, I'm a barista, so I need some cash. Cool. And he was like, hey, it's Anime Con. I was like, I don't feel like I like that. But I worked it, and like it was so, because that's not my realm at all. It's like so far out of my comfort zone. But it was like really cool to like be like surrounded and like by like something I would never in my life like go there. But
Did you was it like a lot of dress, like cosplay?
Oh yeah, so much cosplay, and it was so
Very
cool to see. It was actually really, really fun. And then, but like there was like this exhibit like where they were like showing like tentacle porn.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like
Full
art
on
house tentacle porn, like whatever the fuck, and it was so gnarly. And I was like, this is intense, very intense. And people were like, oh wow, isn't this great? And I was like, well, I'm happy you're having fun.
What were you working there? Like, was it?
So
did you get to move about and like see all the?
Yeah, I got to move about. I got to move like all around. I was dealing with like counting money for this booth, and then and then I just got to like kind of go like explore.
Yeah, because there are all of these, you know, I guess they'd be called subcultures, or like, you know, and they always have cons, right? So it's sort of cool because it's a bunch of people who are all interested in the same thing, so maybe they feel like they can have a little bit more freedom to like express themselves and excitement for it, rather than like.
Also, I love like I don't know, because I feel like I'm a very like I don't even know if I would say I'm set in my ways, but I just feel like, you know, I like the things that I like, and like that's fine. And especially because I didn't go to college, I didn't really like, have to like push myself to try like many like new things, and that's or it wasn't subjected to like a bunch of new stuff, I guess. Like I was like growing up in LA, like while everyone else was like in college, and I'm just kind of like out here like, oh, so like I don't know if I ever get like an opportunity to like kind of get out of my comfort zone, like I love to take that.
Sweet. Yeah, no, that's great. I mean, I feel like LA offers that already, just being
here
a crazy
for
city,
sure,
and, like people coming from all sorts of places. But also I've always felt that way about stand up too, just because like the different people that we meet, and it's pretty like diverse, quote unquote, but like, you know, I just even,
it is.
But mainly about like life experience diverse rather than, I don't know, face diverse.
Of course.
But
no, you get to hear so many like people's. That's also why I love stand up so much. Like even just like I know people complain about open mics and stuff, but honestly, I fucking love open mics too, because it's like you just get to hear like, as well as a lot of bad comedy sometimes from me. I feel like you get to like hear so many different types of perspective on life, and it's so cool to like learn people's stories.
True. Yeah, I feel like more so than. Yeah, maybe that is true. Like, I mean, it is true, but I think. I'm just thinking right now.
We don't know. Okay.
You're right. No, but I think I remember when I went to more mics, I would always end up in conversation with somebody. And I thought at the time that maybe it was because I was kind of young, so it was kind of like easy to be like, hey, what's your story? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They would pick me out because I was clearly kind of like out, you know, fish out of water. But I think, you know, more so than at book shows or things like that, I would definitely meet like somebody who was very fascinating, you know, just different from myself, and then they would be very open about telling me how they got there and stuff.
Yeah.
And like that hasn't happened in a while, and it might be because I haven't been to enough mics. Huh. It's a good argument to go to mics.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, no, I love that. I think wanting to go outside of your comfort zone is like super admirable, and something I always wish I would do more, because I think a little bit about me coming back here and being close to my family. I'm close to like a lot of where I grew up. I kind of sometimes feel like I'm like, is this it though? You know?
Yeah.
Because I've always had a great time. Like I really enjoyed moving away, living in Boston, quote unquote, for college. And like, I think just because I had literally grown up here, like I was born here and everything, and I just always thought of myself as like, I went to the same school and like through the same school district when I was through high school from kindergarten, you know?
Wow, yeah.
So I really was like never the new kid, which like is a blessing, but also was like, okay, so I kind of always rested in this idea that like, I'm only going to thrive if like I'm in a place where I know, and then when I'm introduced to a new place, I'm not going to like it, they're not going to like me, you know? So that was kind of something that like I identified with when I was younger. And then the minute I stepped outside of that, I was like, oh, okay, it's not that bad, you know?
Yeah.
And I learned a lot from it. So I don't know, but even then, like I still haven't been outside and as an adult and like, you know, learned other cities or places. So
yeah,
it might be in my future. Who knows?
Definitely. And like I totally get like that, like almost like antsiness, I guess, too, because you're like, all right, like do I really want to like be settled, you know, forever? And like because like maybe, and then maybe you want to do like a year in, I don't know, like New York or wherever.
Right.
Which you know, could be cool.
Could happen.
My family, we moved around so much growing up. So, because, like, my parents were journalists, and so, like, we're always, like, bebopping around, and, like, so I was, like, born in Washington, and then we moved to Oregon, then Ohio, then San Diego, and then, so I was always new, and, like, I feel like that, like, really shaped me as a person, too, because I'm, like, oh, like, don't get attached to people, and, like,
oh, wow, yeah.
You know, and, like, oh, you're just gonna leave again, and, like, so there's no point in opening up, and then moved to North Carolina, where I spent, like, most, like, my formative years, I guess, so then, like, I kind of, like, got comfortable, but then I was, like, well, I'm gonna move back to California because that's also where like all my family is. Right. So, you know, I don't know, it's like weird.
No, yeah, I mean, I think for most, the sort of instability of like moving around can be like like what you're saying about the not wanting to open up thing for that reason. That's definitely something that I'm like, oh yeah, I didn't really have to think about that as much, and I feel grateful that I did. But yeah, fascinating. But now, you know, LA.
Yeah.
Everybody's coming from outside, and so I feel like it's kind of a city of people who are transplants. But
definitely.
But yeah, but then then I'm kind of like, it's so funny because then sometimes people are like, oh, you're from here, like that's so rare.
Is that like, was that hard being from here, and then everyone's like basically not, or
I don't think so. I think I was surprised because it's still like I know a lot of people who are from here still because
true.
So then I kind of like forget that that's the case, but. But no, I think it's just like funny because I guess some people probably wouldn't yeah, I think people are like more surprised than I would expect them to be when I say like I'm from here, you know.
Yeah.
Because I think statistically maybe they're not meeting that person all the time. But
Yeah.
there are a few comics, you know, here and there, and you're like, oh yeah,
Like, oh, yeah.
I'm from that neighborhood. Oh yeah, I used to go to that mall. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it's every so often, but
That's cool.
But yeah, I mean, so long story short, I guess it's like, yeah, I am always also, I think that's cool that, like even going to the anime con or like going to something that you're like, oh yeah, let's just see what this is about is really essential because we don't really have that opportunity that much.
Mm-hmm.
And like also like for traveling outside of town, like going to Wisconsin. Hey,
Yes, I
going to
can't wait for our
Wisconsin
next
together.
trip.
I know. Shout out to Matt.
Yeah.
It is a thing where it's like, yeah, that's sort of a town that we would never go to if it weren't for comedy.
Oh my God, I didn't even know Merrill, Wisconsin existed
Right,
until we
I
met
think,
sweet little Matt.
yeah, it's like 10,000 people or something. It's like a very tiny town.
Yeah, if even
Is what it
that.
said? Yeah, I can't remember.
Wait, wasn't it like? I thought it was like 4,000 or something. It's
Oh,
like
maybe.
it's tiny.
Jesus. Yeah, it's like a high school. But okay, is there anything else that you'd like to add about positivity
Dang.
or things in life? I mean, I don't know. I feel like I'm really catching you at an opportune moment here.
I know this is
Come
like
out
I
from
know
the
I'm like
darkness into the light.
Also, I just got back from like San Luis Obispo, so I'm like all like happy and shit.
Oh
I'm
shit!
like,
Oh, okay,
yeah.
yeah. So getting you after
Yeah.
a little nice
Af-
okay.
yeah. No, I don't know. You know, I feel like lately I just have learned to like I used to always hold grudges too, and I feel like I don't know. I was like I had a like not in like I was egotistical per se, but like I had like a big ego, so like, oh, if you hurt me, I was gonna hold a grudge and like blah 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 blah, and like I was not forgiving, and like, oh, if you hurt me, then you're out forever, like da da. But like I just like I'm like learning like the world, like I just feel like in this last year like made me grow up so much, like because I had just so many like different experiences, like with like friends, dating, relationship, like when ending, when beginning, whatever. But like I feel like I just really learned to like you can't see things in such like black and white, and you have to be more forgiving, I think, like with yourself and with other people. And sometimes it's like it's more important to be happy than it is to be right.
Oh, totally. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I think, yeah, people always say, like, sometimes you do have to, like, let things go for your own health, you know, and then sometimes holding grudges can, like, actually make you physically sick, which is crazy. Like,
yeah, they can. And you know
are,
what
like,
also...
on their deathbed.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And it's like, it's like, I didn't speak to my brother for 6 years, or like longer. And it's like, oh my God, it's like, you know, just it's so exhausting. Sure. Just let it go. There's so many like more important things to worry about than like, oh, like this person owes me money. And it's like, of course, like, you know, stand up for yourself and you can like be upset. But like at the end of the day, like, do you really want to be harboring all this negative energy? Like, no, like go expend it on something else.
Yeah. I mean, I even noticed, like, I know there are some people in my life that I didn't like at the time. And like, as time passes though, I'm like, I can't remember why I didn't like them, you know? And like, and it's oftentimes like you just need space and distance from them. But I think there are certainly people where I'm like, I knew that guy, like, I didn't like that guy for some reason. And obviously I trust myself at that time because I had good judgment, hopefully. But not discounting that judgment, but like I like just don't even really remember. So I think I'm just gonna lean towards it's fine, you know?
Yeah.
And like that kind of helps with the, you know, maybe though if that person were like breathing down your neck every day, then you'd be like, yeah,
obviously
I
if they're doing something like really like
right,
you know, distasteful and toxic, like of course like cut them out, and like you don't need to give them a second chance. But like I don't know, but like, you know, I just feel like it's like life is so short, and like you can use that. I know it's like such a cheesy thing to say, but it's like you can either use that to like, you know, be like, and that's why I'm cutting you out, or you can use it to be like, life is so short, and you know what, I do have feelings for you, I do like you, so like let's explore it, whatever.
Sure.
You know?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, girl.
Great. I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then, anything you want to plug? I know we went over the socials.
Yeah, the social. No, I mean, like I just post all my shows on Instagram, so yeah.
Check it on the daily.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Sierra.
Yay. Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
The end.
Hey guys, look, I have an outro to this episode, which is rare, I know. The reason why, I think I might want to start adding this in, but I love to do a little recap at the same time. Did I listen back to what I was talking about in this episode? No, so I have nothing to recap because I don't remember. But what I want to talk about here is just like, look, I hope everybody's doing okay because, again, did I just start having like a southern accent? I can do that sometimes. I didn't grow up in the South. I don't know. Sometimes I watch too much television and then I start to pick up what I think the actor's voice is, and it's really not even close, but I do my best because I have no identity. Okay, back to normal. So stay positive. If you guys could do me a huge favor and follow on Spotify, subscribe on podcasts, Apple Podcasts, like us on Facebook. We have a Facebook page now, which I'm trying to post to more with the new updates in case you're a Facebook person. I have a Twitter, on my own personal one, and a Stay Positive one that I think is like not that active, but I'm trying to get back into it. Instagram, obviously, that's the most active for all things for me. So follow Stay Positive there so you can get all the updates. Also, just like, interact with me. If you want to tell me anything about like topics you want me to cover in the future, guests you want me to have on, if I can get them, don't pitch like, I don't know, Ellen DeGeneres too hard, then email me at staypositive@gmail.com. Love to hear anything. Also, send more Moss Dog names, even though somebody sent 100, and those are great names, so I might just have to pick one of those. And yeah, just keep listening, because tell your friends too. That would be amazing. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes/Apple Podcasts, and also write a little review. Say like, oh my God, Sierra's the best host and she has the greatest, most interesting guests. That's just a light suggestion. Yeah, I could really use the enthusiasm because, I love to make this, but it makes it even more rewarding when people are actually listening. Oh my God, what a novel idea. Okay, thank you. Stay safe, wash your hands, do more than that. Build up your immune system, sleep long hours, and take it easy. Try not to touch as many doorknobs as you usually would. Use those elbows. Okay, thanks guys. Bye.